Hello Saberites! It's been a minute since I've been able to release a video. We've been hard at work behind the scenes, and now we're going to have loads of runs dropping very soon. One of which today is the Master QGJ. This is technically a Gen 2, so those with the chassis for the Gen 1, they are not going to be compatible. So this is a Gen 2, it's changed internally. The threading has changed, the internal sizings has changed, so anything from the Gen 1 is not going to be compatible with the Gen 2, but we have a full chassis line for the Gen 2 to go with the hilts. So the Gen 1, Cal had the model, he gave it to me, he said, can you re-engineer this to be more install friendly and have more capabilities for chassis, of which I did, and it wasn't too hard to do. And one big complaint about the first gen was the blade retention screw. I will show you and run through with you what I've done to fix that issue with the Gen 2. Okay, so box is designed by Christian Cruz. Our usual fella, does excellent work. It's nice. Okay, let's open up the box. So I haven't actually opened up this one yet. This is the first time I'm opening this one. So in the box, you should have a spare plunger bezel in black, and you should have some Allen keys as well, of which one should be 1.5mm and the other one should be 1.3mm. And then you have the hilt itself. Okay. I'll run through how to change that over. It's very easy. Let's get the box out of the way. Let's actually unwrap the hilt first, and we'll remove the black paper as well. It's been nicely wrapped. Okay, there we go. Put that to the side. Put the box to the side. Okay, so we've got our hilt, and as you can see, there is no blade retention screw visible on the emitter, and there's very good reason for that. But one thing I've noted, and I believe as Cal sells these, he's going to be changing these around, but just in case he forgets, if you get this and there's something wrong up here, there's only a simple fix you need to do. It's literally not going to take you a second. And it's not a fix, you just unscrew something, flip it around, put it on the other way. So you've got your single red button here, cover tech on the back, access to the inside of the hilt through the pommel. Got your sound venting there. You don't have to glue anything in place now, everything threads together. That was another problem with the Gen 1. It was just kind of place it in there and hope for the best and use some glue, whereas I've changed that and put some threads on there, and that will hold a 28mm speaker nicely away from the bottom of the pommel, so you don't even need a spacer, a printed spacer at the bottom. Right, so to get access to your blade retention screws that are hidden, the best thing you can do is remove this entire emitter piece. It's a bit of a long thread, but there you go. And you've got another emitter piece to undo here. And the problem is the factory puts this collar on the wrong way up. There we go. So just unscrew this, flip it round, find those threads, put it back on, and thread this back down nice and tight. As I say, you might get yours and everything will be alright, but in case there's anything that gets forgotten as Cal ships them out, just flip that round, job done. And so you're wondering, how do we get access to the blade retention screws? So this is a 1.5mm Allen key. All you do is thread this collar up, and you've got 1, 2, 3 blade retention screws, of which you can unscrew all 3, and you might find the blade plug drops out just like that. So they're a bit lower down than ideal, but it's better than having them just randomly placed and visible, especially at the front of the hilt, which was very annoying. The good thing is we've got 3 of them, so they may clamp lower down on the blade, but you've got 3 of them to secure the blade nicely, and you've still got nice blade depth to stop it pitching. So that's all sorted and remedied. Just pinch those back up. And then you can thread that back down. Of course, you don't want to go super tight on that, you just want to do it up just a little bit. And so obviously you're going to have chassis access here, which will be for your battery and crystal chamber if you go for the crystal chamber option. And for chassis retention, you unscrew your plunger like this, and it should just come out as one piece, and that's where you can change your bezel around the plunger for the black one if you want to. This is using my plunger self-tightening design. And then you've got an Allen key, a grub screw right there to retain your chassis just beneath the plunger. So easy to access. Once you put your chassis in, do that bit up, and then you're ready to rock and roll. Okay, and then to put this back on, put your bezel back over the plunger thread, and then thread that in carefully. Make sure you catch those threads first, nice and even, before you start tightening it down, otherwise you risk cross-threading your hilt. And even I'm struggling because I'm trying to keep my head away from the camera. There we go. Sorted. And then we have a fully assembled Qui-Gon. I prefer the silver bezel around the plunger myself, but you can swap it out for the black one if you so wish. The cover tech acts as a chassis retention screw for the lower part of your chassis when you get it. So when you unscrew this, you can put your chassis in there and clamp it down. There's loads of wire space behind here. So when you unscrew this, and also I'd recommend removing the plunger and unscrewing your pommel, because of course you're not going to slip it down with the pommel there. In fact, I think you might actually need to slip it upwards. Sorry, I've worked on so many hilts I can't remember now. So you need to remove the entire emitter piece at that split there, and then slide the whole thing up. And then you've got 4 tiny little PVC washers that add extra space between the shield and the main body. And you've got one there, I think it's one here, and one underneath the cover tech as well. So just pay attention to those. Do this when you disassemble this to get chassis in. Do it over a safe space. Don't do it on your bed. Make sure you can find those pieces, and as you slip this back on, try and assemble them back into the positions that they came with, and that way you keep your shield nice and secure and stop it grinding on the emitter piece when every time you take this on and off. So I've actually got one installed, so I'll put that to the side. Here's my installed version. Let's show you what it looks like. So I've got an Eco CC. There is the Elite and the Eco. The Eco can take an 18650. The Eco CC and the Elite take the 18500. So a slightly shorter battery. And so you've got a nice crystal chamber there. You've got a nice cover there for your battery. That will be the same for both the Elite and the Eco. You'll have a battery for your cover for your battery. I haven't had to glue in the magnets, so it fits quite nicely without them. But if you want to, you can put the magnets in place there and there, and then you can. This will just attract itself together, but it fits really nicely without them at the moment anyway. So dead easy to get that in and out. Let's grab an 18500 battery. Dead easy to get in because I use the spring style battery tabs, like so. Now that's not going to boot up straight away. I'll show you why. So that's all built back up. I'm going to put this on. In the pommel here, we have our speaker pod. And let's get a bit closer. Shine a light. You've got access to your Profi board, your SD card, a 1.3mm recharge port if you want to use it. You don't even have to install that if you don't want to, but it's the options there. And you've got your kill switch. Now on the Elite, there's a cover plate that goes down here, and there's a brass cover that goes over your speaker pod as well. On the Elite, you also have a tiny pixel ring down there, so you've got some nice accent lights going on in the pommel at the same time. So let's turn our kill switch on. And I'm not sure if you can see that the Profi is glowing green in there, but we'll give it a moment. Put our speaker back in and it'll probably boot up. There we go. I didn't put the speaker on very quickly there, but I do have a boot delay. And then we turn it on. The Qui-Gon sound font's quite quiet, just a general hum, but the blasts are very, very loud. This is the Qui-Gon font by Jesse, Kyberphonic. We've got a nice glow through on all of our clan style hilts that have been designed. Prequel era clan style. So that is really loud. And then we'll turn it off. And I'll show you the crystal chamber. So this is just the Eco CC. The Elite looks way fancier. Took me a while to design that, but I will always support the Eco line because not everybody can afford an Elite. I totally understand that. Hence why I have Eco as well. Remember to get access to your blade retention screws, unscrew that collar up, and you got 1, 2, 3 blade retention screws there. And your chassis retention screw again is underneath the bezel. And there we have it. That is an installed Master QGJ Gen 2. It doesn't say it on the box, but it'll say it on the title. Make sure you only get chassis for the Gen 2 to suit the Gen 2. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll have some more videos out very soon. Some big drops coming very, very soon. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.